Beaches. Sup, bitches? It's Chad Warden here. So, and then we got these Xbox fans. They think they're smart and shit. We ain't doing geometry. We try to play some games. And that's one thing Xbox don't got. Xbox ain't got games. It ain't got games.
Level up, gamers, and welcome back to another episode of Save Before Quitting. I go by the name of Ant, and right here I have my always lovely, beautiful, vibrant co-host, Chris.
I don't know about that last couple. But yeah, Chris,
talk to how lovely, beautiful, and vibrant you are.
I don't know if I'm much vibrancy. As you can tell by my hoodie, everything hurts and I'm dying.
Always a pleasure to talk to Chris.
Yeah.
Well, again, like I said, welcome to Save Before Quitting. Save letter B number 4 quitting if you are finding us on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Twitch, or YouTube. Titty, if you didn't put that together.
It's an acronym.
T-I-T-T-Y. Acronym. It's been a while we haven't done this. Save Before Quitting, all the way spelled out, at gmail.com if you would like to send us an email. Save Before Quitting, all the way spelled out.com if you would like to buy some merch. So got a whole bunch of dope stuff on there. Be on the lookout for that. Discord, join our Discord. It is in below this video in the caption. There's their Discord link. It's down there. What else is down there? Our Patreon. Join the Patreon for even more content. We have a whole backlog of nonsense. If you want to hear us talk nonsense that has nothing to do with gaming, you can do that too.
True.
Which we will be getting back into that now. There's been a lot of craziness happening on a personal level.
Me. Sorry.
Nah, don't even listen. We've all been there. But
yeah,
we're here. We have the technology. We can make it happen. So, Chris, let me start by saying, how are you?
I'm fine. I've been better, but we're getting through it. You know, we're living. I drove more than 4 minutes today, so that's pretty neat.
Progress.
So, yeah, making my way back into the world. And then I have a goal this week to at least hit the gym once, to do a little bit of cardio, to maybe shock my body back into wanting to exist again. But we'll see how that goes.
You got it.
How about you? How you doing?
I got no complaints. What's been happening recently of note outside of the things we'll get to later? Just work, still doing family stuff. Got a kid who's about to be 2 and he's acting like it. I call him terrible twos for a reason.
God damn.
At least I can say he's acting his age, but he is starting to he's doing that cool stuff where he's becoming aware of his surroundings and people. And so now I walk in the house and he's daddy.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, oh, the first time he did that, I was just like, oh shit.
That's
I didn't have a kid before him, but still it was like, oh, whoa. Cause I'm just used to him babbling.
Mm-hmm.
So now he's doing that. Nice. Now, if he's dropped something, he's and he's picking it up. He's doing all the little cute baby stuff. And he's also in terrible too, so he's still throwing tantrums. He wants to kick you when he can't have his way and fall, But other than that, that's really it, man. Let's get into these games.
Hell yeah!
So we
you want to take we're both fucking mush mouth right now. Jesus Christ!
It
We
makes
gotta
us
do-
personable. We're still
Yeah.
people, like the people watching this show.
What did you play this week?
What have you played this month, Ant? Because you've been playing hella games. You've been sending me
Yeah.
screenshots of credits upon credits rolling. So let us know.
I'm
what you've been
beating
playing.
games. Nothing big though. Not that that's a bad thing. I think this is where I am right now in gaming. Like I'm in this little comfortable area where it's like I'm just gonna play these cool little indie games
All right.
and just beat the shit out of them.
Yeah.
And they just curl up, get my Steam Deck, and just play. Played Animal Well, beat Animal Well, love Animal Well.
Hell
Good
yeah.
times. Mini Shoot Adventures. I think the Twitch VOD might still be out. If not, it's probably on YouTube.
Yep.
I started Mini Shoot Adventures, which if people don't know, it's like a twin stick shooter mixed with a top-down Zelda, which you would think like, how does that work? But it works surprisingly well. Played that, beat that, platinumed that.
Hell yeah.
It was a great time. Awesome time. That gives away the ending. I won't say the ending in case people want to play it. But the ending, to get the last achievement, I put it like this, to get the last achievement, they make it so you can't come back to the game.
Ooh. That's
But
interesting.
it's a cool way to end it. You know what I mean?
All right.
I mean, you
But-
could play it again, but you won't come back to your,
To your run. Like your run is just
anymore.
done.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So that was a great time. I was addicted to that. And I played a game that I just happened to scroll past on Twitter. Like I follow a lot of indie developers on there. And a game called Bzzzt, BZZZT. And you're a little
Okay.
robot. It's like futuristic Super Meat Boy. It's like a one screen game, puzzle platforming to get to the end. And it has like a splash of like Mega Man in it because you can like air dash with your little robot guy. And there's like a professor and like an assistant, like a girl that you're like, who are corresponding with you as you play. And if anybody knows Mega Man, that's like having Dr. Light and Roll, his sister, like kind of, it has that same kind of motif.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really, really fun. If you're a fan of games like Super Meat Boy or Celeste or things like that, it's that kind of game. And it's a really, really good time. It's like 60 stages. And you have to like, there's things to accomplish in each stage, like get to the end while getting every collectible. Get to the end in this time. They have like a clear time that if you hit, you get like an extra bonus. Get to the end, but also find the hidden passageway in this level. Like a lot of secrets, a lot of collectibles, a lot of get to the end of the stage while doing this. It's like a one-hit death game. So like I get like Meat Boy, make it to the end of the stage, don't get touched. Really fun. Really, 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 really fun. Platinum that. So those are my three. Other than that, I've been like messing around with emulation a little bit. So I've been back on my Steam Deck trying to figure out like how can I get things emulated on here in the best way possible. So for a while I was looking for Marvel vs. Capcom 2, like the arcade version, and I couldn't get it to work. So I ended up having to find the Dreamcast version, and I got that to work. So for me, I'm like, wow, I'm playing portable Marvel vs. Capcom 2. I've never done that before. And that's now I'm just in bed, like just fighting my life away. So that's
Adrian's
been fun.
actually like, what the fuck is all that clicking?
Yeah, I thought about that because one night I'm just like even with like Mini Shoot Adventures, I was like that. I'm just curled up, like my eyes hurt, my arms hurt, but I can't put this down. But yeah, I've been fucking around with some emulation. And there's things on the horizon coming, and I'm just kind of waiting for those things. And my Steam wish list is so long. There's so many games I could easily just go to because all these other indies are out, and I'm just like, all right, because that's how I've been doing it. I'll beat a game, like, all right, what else is on this wish list? I'll buy this one that's on sale this week, then I'll beat that, then I'll go back, and I've just been in this cycle.
Like
I haven't
sales.
touched a major console in months.
Feel that. It's good though because indies are making a huge comeback. I mean, we had the OTK game show that happened, and there was like I don't know how many games from that I put on my wish list, and I'm like, I don't even play indies anymore, really. But my wish list is just stacking up. Same thing from the Devolver, which we'll get to at some point.
Right.
Yeah, man. Indies are making a comeback.
Yeah, man. But and then they're getting support in a way they've never got support before. So I think that's really dope. But enough about me. What have you played?
I've kind of been in and out of games the past month or two. Call of Duty I've been on and off with. I had a bad time last week with the first game of the Apollo Gaming League. Needless to say, my computer decided to reset all my Streamlabs settings. Also put all of my Call of Duty settings to maximum after, and I think it's just sheer coincidence that they both decided to happen at the same time, that I did this like PC check that is required now to make sure you don't have like hacks or anything on your computer. It literally was just like the worst series of events that happened, and I was so mad last week on Thursday because like I was trying to play and I was in the games, but it was like a PowerPoint. Like it was like 3 frames every second, and then my stats were fucking awful. I think I went 4-25 the first game, and I'm like cool, dude. Let me just embarrass myself real quick on the first game of the season, even though I have no control over it. But I think the worst part that was like kind of annoying is one of the guys came in and like was asking what was going on and whatnot, and he went back and reported that my game was fucking up. And then they just never showed my gameplay on stream, which would have showed that it was fucking up, because there was another codcaster and they're like, oh shit, yeah, if you look at Seeking, it looks bad. They just didn't even look at it to like show that there's credibility that, you know, I was getting fucked by whatever the hell happened. But luckily I have made my settings back down to normal on Call of Duty and fixed Streamlabs so that it's not trying to pump out the best 4K video of all time. So that's pretty nice. But other than that, I got mad at Call of Duty, so I decided to hop into X Defiant, the new Ubisoft
This one I want to hear
shooter.
more about.
It's interesting to say the least. I don't think I love it per se. As a free-to-play game, I think it's pretty damn good for what it is. A lot of like the hero abilities and stuff are all based around like different Ubisoft games. Like there's Tom Clancy's The Division, there's like a squad of 3 that you can use, and each people have like, there's like a fire guy who has like, your bullets are incendiary, so if you shoot someone there's a little bit of fire damage that carries over. You can kill them, like say you get killed but you got them like really close to like the end of their life, those incendiary bullets will like take care of the rest of their life and get that kill for you.
Gotcha.
I've been playing one, I can't remember what game it's from, but it has like this little shield that you can throw out in front of you that like protects you for a bit. Or a riot shield as an option, and there's like a watchdogs team and blah blah blah. Guns are fun to play with. There's not really much of a skill-based matchmaking system right now, so like I'll go into a game and I'll drop maybe 20-30 kills and we'll just get our asses kicked, like for the objective that's going on, if it's like domination, hardpoint, or the escort the payload mission type, and we'll just get our asses blasted, but I'm getting kills and shit, and like I just can't win because the other team has people that are like level 50 to 60 and I'm level 18.
Yeah,
so,
they're leveling up crazy over there.
Yeah, and I mean it's pretty good. It's not bad. They have like a little tester for like a ranked thing that they're gonna end up doing once it's fully out. I haven't really dove into that yet because I just kind of wanted to play casually and unlock like all the attachments for guns and stuff. All the guns like and the attachments and stuff, like it feels like you're leveling them, and it feels like rewarding compared to in Call of Duty. It feels like a slog to like get your attachments and shit, especially because at least with Call of Duty now, I'm not really playing quick play as much anymore. I'm mainly playing the ranked play, and all the attachments that are unlocked for like 3 guns that you're allowed to use, they're just unlocked for you and ready to use. But I'll go over to quick play and I'm like, oh, let me use my setup that I use in ranked, and I can't because all of those attachments are locked, and I gotta do X amount of daily quests to get this unlocked, and then I have to unlock this by doing another set of daily quests.
I can see that being super annoying.
Super annoying. I really hate how Call of Duty has kind of, I don't want to say ruined, but like just kind of dove into the ground with their terrible system for the quick play. Like, quick play doesn't feel fun anymore, which is sad.
That is.
But other than that, X Defiant's been fun. If you want to try it, grab it. It's for free. The only thing that sucks is you got to grab the Ubisoft launcher on PC, and that's the only game that I have on it. So I just have another launcher on my PC for no reason.
They're gonna launcher us to death. Launchers are becoming like streaming services.
Practically, yeah. It's just, I was like, I don't want to download this, but it's the only way to play it. I guess, sure, fuck it. And it's fun. It's fun for what it is, but it's also only 30 gigabytes, which is nice compared to Call of Duty, which is, you know, abysmal because they don't know how to compress their game files at all. But
no, you gotta get that best possible fucking performance. You gotta get all.
It's not
the
even
files.
performance though. It's just, we're gonna make this so big that you're not allowed to have any other games on your console. Get fucked. Play Call of Duty only.
That's it.
Yeah, it really feels like that's what it is. But other than that, an ironic last game for me as well. Marvel's Midnight Suns.
Oh yeah. So tell me about how your time with this.
So I downloaded that on a whim, just like casually one day because it was free on the version of PlayStation Plus that I have. So I was like, sure, I'll get this and see what it's about. And at first I didn't really like it. I still don't like a lot of things about it, but it's a tactics-based card game where you're controlling. It's pretty much Mario and Rabbids, you know, tactics-based. But everything's on the same level, if that makes sense. It's just like a square. Like, here's your square. Fight all the people that are in there, or do whatever objective it's telling you to do before all of your heroes die or whatever.
Right.
And the story's pretty good, but it's not at the same time. Like, it's kind of cheesy the way it's written. Like, there's some moments where I'm like, man, that was written really well. And then there's others that I'm like, Jesus Christ, that's like some 80s comic writing.
Gotta
like,
pick this cheese out of my teeth.
Yeah, man. But like, there's like a whole entire friendship like system where like every single hero that you interact with, you have conversations with them, and it matters what you choose because you play the hunter. Like, you're this dude who's supposed to take down Lilith, who's this big bad emo lady who's making the world bad and shit. But she's your mother, and you got to take her out, and it's the prophecy that you have to kill her. And you have to like go back and forth between your light side and your dark side and level those up, or just go all in one, go all in the other. And your dialogue choices that you have are based around light and dark, and then there's an in between one as well. And depending on what character you're talking to, so like Spider-Man, me and him are best buds. I leveled him up to the max first. Of
course,
and Yuri Lowenthal had to be best friends. So it was just like I just kept leveling him, and I just didn't care about anybody else. And everything with him is like, just be light, you know, like use your light choices, and like your friendship goes up and blah blah blah. But then I was talking to Wolverine, and I'm trying to do the light choices. Like, oh yeah, we have hope. We can get this character back because one of them gets captured. Blah blah blah. Story wise, and he's like, yeah, but like you got to be realistic, dude. Like she's gone. Like she's already too far gone. Blah 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 blah. And then my friendship level goes down because I didn't do the realistic choice or the dark choice, which would have been more in line with what he feels and shit. Yeah. So I lost my friendship with him a little bit.
Balancing friendships.
Yeah. Which also feels funny because it's like I'm super best friends with Spider-Man after being like hella good guy. Like, yeah, we're going to do it. But then I'm over here now talking to Blade like, if you need me to kill you, I will. Just in case you ever go too vampire-y. He's like, I appreciate that. Thanks, man. And it's like my darkness level keeps rising. But,
don't tell Spider-Man.
Yeah, like I feel like I'm like being different people to each of these characters just to like level them up. And I guess when you get to their max friendship level, that's when you get their Midnight Suns outfit, like their costume that's for the game specifically. So I got Spidey's finally, which ironically I think I was supposed to get for free. Because if you remember back before it came out, there was like a tweet that they put out on the Midnight Suns account. And if you liked the tweet and retweeted it, and then connected your Twitter to your whatever account that it's for, I don't remember off the top of my head, you get that skin for Spider-Man for free. It didn't.
I don't remember that, but I'm not. It sounds like something they did.
Yeah. I was like, what the fuck, man? I was supposed to have this already. But
Right.
it's cool. There's also a dog in the game that's like your pet named Charlie, and she's like a little devil dog, and you could just constantly just walk up and pet her and get your friendship level with your dog up higher and higher, which is pretty cool.
Just max dog friendship.
Yeah, and it's such a fun time. And like there's like a little area that you explore that's like the safe haven where everyone's like bunking and shit, and you're unlocking different areas there and like getting more into the story of like what your past is and shit. It's pretty decent for what it is, but it does take at least like maybe 10, I wouldn't say, maybe like 5 hours to get fully invested, I'd say. Because at first I was like, man, this kind of sucks, and now I'm just like, I really like this a lot, and I'm gonna keep playing it until it's done. Yeah, since like the only thing I've been playing on my PlayStation, because I've just given up on Fortnite completely. That shit's abysmal to play right now because of the cars that they added for the. It's kind of like a Mad Max type situation where they're like crazy cars and shit, but you can like attach guns to the car now, and there's also a glitch. I don't know if they took it out yet, but it was for a while, where if you're inside the car and you have your teammate get out of the car and you just sit in the passenger seat and they just keep beating it up to break it, once it explodes and breaks, if you're still inside of it, it makes the car have infinite health and it won't break. And you could just live forever in it. So people were just winning the game. Like there was a guy, like the circle was this small and he's like using med kits and like staying in the circle. He's like, what the fuck's going on? There's no enemies around me. And he loses because the storm damage kills him after a certain amount of time. And then it like teleports to the other side of the map where there's just some guys driving in donuts in the car. Just existing because you can. So that pissed me off and I'm like, I'm not playing this anymore. So I just haven't touched it. But yeah, Midnight Suns has been great. Other than that, I don't really have anything on the horizon that I'm looking for. No pun intended, coming from the Sony State of Play, but yeah.
Right. There was something I forgot. I stumbled upon on YouTube this game. Well, it's it's called Castlevania Revamped. Get it? Vampire Revamped. But they've taken punny. Yeah. They've taken the original Castlevania and made it into a like kind of modern Metroidvania. So it's the same NES graphics, like modern 8-bit graphics. So it's like it's 8-bit, but there's things they're doing in the game that clearly wouldn't have worked on like an 8-bit console. For sure. So they've taken that game and made it into a Metroidvania game, which is so funny to me. But it works, and I downloaded that and I put it on my Steam Deck and I'm playing it. And at first I'm like, it's just Castlevania 1 until you beat the first boss, and then you know a traditional throwback game, like you beat the stage, it'll be like you tally up your points, it'll stage, it is some kind of transition. Yeah. And this, I beat the boss, you get whatever you get from it, and it just keeps like you go to the right and it opens up and you're finding secrets and hidden rooms and upgrading your weapon as you would in like a Metroidvania game. And I'm like, oh shit, they really like they made this into a fully fleshed out thing.
They really revamped it.
They revamped it. They did the thing. It's in the name. So I've been fucking with that a little bit, and that's been kind of cool.
Nice. Nice little array of games that we got going on right now.
Yeah.
Nothing big, which I like.
But I think that's usually what this time of the year is. You know what I mean? Because the big games are usually designated for like holiday season. Sometimes we get like a banger in the top of the year. We get the games that come out in like spring, like the fiscal year games, and then we get like the holiday games. Usually summertime is like everybody's catch up time.
True.
Or we play the smaller games. So I think that's just the nature of the beast right now.
Hell yeah. Well, I guess that means it's time to get into the news.
The news. Let's get to the news.
The news this week is packed.
Oh,
Brought to you by us, because we don't have a sponsor this time.
Oh, man. Well, if you know, you know, and it is that time of the year where it's just avalanche of video game news.
We want to start with the state of play that Sony gave us, I guess.
Yeah, we're gonna start. We're gonna go in order. Now, we don't have to spend time on each and every single bullet point of these shows.
I feel like there's only a few things that are worth talking about when it comes to the Sony state of play, to be honest. One of which being their new competitive 5v5 shooter Concord that looks not that special, if I'm being honest.
Big budget hero shooter.
Yeah, but like it didn't look like it was doing anything that was crazy. It had a really cool cinematic that they did.
That's what I was about to say. It looks incredibly expensive.
Yeah,
I'll tell you that much.
But the gameplay,
as much as
it was fine. It was just like whatever. I've seen this 80 other times, bruh.
Yeah, I'm at least curious about it because I want to know. I want to see more of how like the story mode works.
Yeah. Did
Outside
it say
of
there's a
that,
story mode? I didn't even catch that.
I think so. Again, we're not like professionals, but I think so. My memory serves me correctly. They had all that story in the trailer.
I mean, to be fair, Overwatch has all that story that they made from all those shorts and shit, and then they were like, Overwatch 2, here comes the story, and then got rid of it. So
Overwatch meets Guardians of the Galaxy. I kind of made it, well, a little behind the scenes baseball for everybody. If you click the bullet point, it should open up a link.
Shit.
Yeah.
Bruh, you be learning how to do things.
I do be learning how to do things.
I did not know that was a thing you could do in slides.
Well, to be fair, the where I got the bullet points from, they were originally links, and I kind of just had to reformat it in the slideshow.
All right.
I'm trying to see if it says it anywhere that there is a campaign. I mean, there's got to be a campaign, right?
I don't know if there has to be. I don't see anything about it. And I honestly, if I was to guess, I don't think they would do one. Just because it's a 5v5 hero shooter. And they're just going to like do the same thing that Valorant and Overwatch do. And just stick to that. And then have cool cinematics probably for new characters. Because that's how you kind of do these games nowadays, sadly. I just didn't think that the gameplay really wowed in any way, sadly. It just looked like another clone of Overwatch, which, I mean, there's another one that we're going to talk about later that they showed as well that I'm more excited for, but that's just because I might have the ability to web swing in it, which would be sick. But like it looks like a slow version of Overwatch.
I'm not seeing anything that specifically says it, but I do see. I mean, first person Concord. They built so much story around this shit. You would assume that it has it.
You would assume Overwatch would too. They got shit.
True. But I thought Overwatch 2 was definitely going to have it with the way that trailer went.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that the story and the CG, all the cutscenes, made me hope that it wasn't a hero shooter. I was like, okay, this is just a new property. This looks cool. And then when we saw that it was a shooter, it was just like, oh. Yeah,
very much that. I'm not
because that would have been like cool new like IP.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. Like, it could be good. I have no expectations when it comes from this. Like, it's a hero shooter. What are you gonna do? You can't really reinvent the wheel. A lot of the abilities are probably going to be very similar to abilities that we've seen in games like Overwatch or Valorant or anything like that. I mean, Marvel Rivals is practically a straight up rip-off of Overwatch for a lot of the characters' moves. But at least with that, I'm more excited for it because it took like a weird stylistic choice and it looks interesting and fun. Mm-hmm. This, I got to see more gameplay. I got to see people playing it because the gameplay they showed looked very slow and like methodical, if that makes sense. Like, it didn't look like people were playing in the trailer. If you watch it, it looked like someone was like, I have to get this cinematic shot of all these characters doing their moves and shit while I'm also a first-person character doing this, and it felt very clunky. So until we see like actual gameplay, I'm holding off any sort of opinions of it. But I did love the cinematic. That's all I'll say for it.
Well, we'll find out soon because the beta is in July and it launches in August. That is one constant I will say throughout almost all of these showcases as we go forward. I really appreciate the turnaround times because they're stopped announcing things. There's some in here, but there's a lot of things that are coming out relatively soon.
Mm-hmm.
At least within the next fiscal year, like by 2025. But there's some things they were just like couple of months. I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Like even with as expensive as this looked and this CG and everything that's going into it, the fact that they said beta July, August release, I was like, even if I wasn't super on board, I was like, that's still like, wow, it's right
That's
there.
impressive. Yeah.
I'll find out immediately. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
What this game has to offer.
Hell yeah. Well, looking forward to July to test that out. What else did they show that was worth mentioning at State of Play?
I mean, I'll just read them down and we can stop.
Okay.
And
Sounds
when we
good.
get to things. So after that, God of War Ragnarok PC version arrives in September. It's coming with a roguelike DLC in tow, so that's going to be great. So if you haven't played Ragnarok or need to get back into Ragnarok, that's a perfect excuse right there.
Still gotta play that DLC.
Right. Dynasty Warriors is back. Dynasty Warriors Origins. It's coming in 2025. It took a 7-year hiatus and now that's back. New open world game headed by Breath of the Wild dev blends your favorite childhood dress up games with Pokemon Snap. What was this?
I remember this when we were
I
like
do remember
watching
this.
the stream, and I was like, "What the hell is going on?" And then when I started
Infinity
hearing
Nikki.
the camera snaps, I was like, "Is this fucking
Yeah.
Pokemon Snap?
That's
What's
right, that's
going
right.
on?"
It is called Infinity Nikki. That's a name.
Yeah, it's not for
but
me, but hey, more power to you if you want to play that.
Did they announce a date for that? I'm not seeing one.
I don't believe so. I think it was just like the opening trailer for it, if I remember correctly.
The beta test unfolds third quarter 2024. So found fall there'll be a beta for that, so you can see what that's about. If you want to get your anime snap on. The devs behind Horizon and God of War inspired action RPG reveals new free-to-play co-op Souls-like Ballad of Antara coming to PS5 in 2025. More Souls-like goodness for that ass. Skydance's Behemoth will be coming to PSVR 2 this fall. Shout out to all 7 of you PSVR 2 players. Alien Rogue Incursion PSVR 2 this holiday. Here's what we talked about. We can elaborate more on this. Marvel's Overwatch Rivals is coming to consoles. So this was their announcement for consoles. I think it was only announced for PC prior to this, right?
Yeah, it was just PC, but now it's like everything. I think it said Switch too, right? Am I
It did?
wrong there?
I know it said Xbox
I know it was
and
Xbox and
PlayStation.
PS5. I don't remember it said Switch. There was something that said Switch that shocked us over the past week, and I can't remember what it was.
That's that Horizon thing.
Oh yeah. That thing.
Horizon Legos. PS5 code platform. I'm not seeing. I don't see anything that's specifically saying Switch right now. Hold on, let me watch the end of this trailer real quick.
While you do that, they did in the trailer announce that both Venom and Adam Warlock will be getting added to the rosters, which was pretty cool to see. Venom, I don't really know if the abilities looked similar to Spider-Man, but I think there was like a web swinging type thing that he could also do. Adam Warlock was a weird pick, to be honest. Like even with the Guardians movie that just came out, I was like, this is a deep cut, yo. Like, I feel like Adam Warlock is not one of those characters where I'm like, man, I can't wait to play that guy, you know? Like I'm good. I don't want to play the guy from that movie where his dick got bit by a spider or some shit. Remember he was in that movie? Not Meet the Fockers. It was like the one with Jason Sudeikis, and he was pretending it was his son or something.
Yeah, what movie was that?
Don't go chasing waterfalls or something like that.
Fuck, I don't remember.
Yeah, Meet the Millers.
Oh, okay. We're the Millers.
Yeah, that one. Good
Yeah,
movie.
I got you.
Good movie. But yeah, I don't think Adam Warlock's really one of those characters where I'm like, I don't think people are gonna be dying to play him. I feel like the roster that they had going on was already stacked, and I was like, okay, Venom's a good addition. Why Adam Warlock? Why are we doing that? What's the point of that?
There was some razzle dazzle in there.
I guess, but
PS5, Xbox, PC. It's not coming to Switch.
Not the Switch. Okay, that's
not
fine.
yet anyway. You know how things kind of come late there sometimes, but
Seeing
as
how
of right
Mortal
now, no
Kombat looks
Switch.
on Switch, I don't think they should do it.
Well, I mean, or I have another theory with this, and we're going to be learning a lot more about Nintendo as June goes on because they have a direct coming this month that they haven't released when. So in the next 2 weeks, there'll be a Nintendo direct.
Yeah.
But it may be on Switch. It might not be on this Switch.
That's a good point. Actually, though,
I think a lot of things are going to Switch that we've seen from some of these showcases, but since they haven't announced Switch 2 yet, I think once that get announced, we'll see everything that's also going there.
All right. Yeah, it looks fun. I'm actually really excited to play Marvel Rivals, just because I want to be a Spider-Man main. I want to swing.
Oh, we know.
Do things. That's all I care about right now.
When is this? It's soon, right? July.
Yeah, July.
The closed beta is coming to PS5 in July. It's not on PC already, is it?
I don't believe so. They did have like a closed beta that I missed out on completely.
Right.
But that ended maybe 2 weeks ago, I believe. So.
Yeah, it's whatever. You got a couple of weeks. It'll be July, and then boom, we're playing it.
Hell yeah.
Where Winds Meet is an open world martial arts adventure coming to PS5. Until Dawn is coming to PS5 and PC this fall. It's dope. Path of Exile 2.
Is like a remastered version too.
Yeah.
Which is a weird choice because I don't know if anyone was asking for that, to be honest, but I mean those are good games.
Those games have a following, so I think they'll be fine. Like doing their remaster. I think they'll still be successful. Path of Exile 2 kicks off early access later this year, and the long-awaited action RPG is introducing crossplay and couch co-op. Silent Hill 2 remake gets terrifying new gameplay trailer and October release date. I've been seeing a lot of criticism about the Silent Hill 2 trailer. People seem to are poo-pooing it online.
Oh, really?
I think of how it looks. I don't know. I will say though, when it comes to those type of games, not that this won't be good. I mean, good for the audience that has been waiting for these Silent Hill 2 remakes, but Capcom has set that bar super high in that area with those Resident Evil remakes.
Yeah, that's true.
I think that space right now, Capcom is like dominating that space. And of course, I know these purists out there. I'm not saying one series is better than the other series. You can like what you like. I'm just saying as far as the exploratory, like horror action, like them Resident Evil games are killing shit.
Oh, for sure. I feel like Silent Hill is one of those game franchises that I never really dove into, but like whenever I would see something from Silent Hill, I would assume that it was Resident Evil just because of like that's where the brain space goes immediately. Right. But they're just a bigger franchise overall. I don't think that's too controversial to say that Resident Evil's bigger as a franchise than Silent Hill, but I'm so shocked to hear that people are poo-pooing it, as you say. Because I had not heard of that, but yeah. Monster Hunter.
Monster Hunter Wilds trailer shows new monsters, updated weapons, best graphics in the series, and bonuses for World and Iceborne players. I'm not a super Monster Hunter person, but objectively speaking, it looks very impressive.
Yeah. I like the look of this one a lot, especially with the ability to like ride those, I guess, chocobos that aren't chocobos from Final Fantasy while hunting. I thought that was a pretty cool addition. But I don't know if I'll be diving into Monster Hunter just because I feel like it's a game where you need to play with people, and I don't think enough people that I know are going to be playing this game. So I don't know, but it looks really cool. It
does. And finally, what we celebrated. Yeah. Also, if you listen back to some older episodes, which we have been asking for and predicting for a long time now, they almost had to do it. Astrobot on PS5 is getting the long overdue sequel. Comes out in September, if I remember the date correctly.
I think so.
Let me make sure. I'm pretty sure it was September. September 6th.
Yeah.
Astrobot is coming. Full-fledged AAA Astrobot game. Let's go. I'm very excited. This trailer was super exciting, super dope. Been waiting for this for a while.
It was
Happy to
definitely
see
the
Astrobot.
highlight of the show for sure. I think
Mhm.
not to say that everything else wasn't great to see, but a lot of it was like, all right, like okay, cool. I'd like to see more of that before I make a decision final. Like on most of the stuff that we've already talked about, like I'm kind of iffy on most of it, and I need to see more. But Astrobot, I'm just full send immediately. They showed so many boss fights immediately out the gate, so you know there's even more than the ones that they showed, which is crazy. But I'm just excited to see what it is and what the controller does with it as well, because we still need a PlayStation game to take full like capabilities of the controller, because I think the only one that did do that was the first Astrobot that we got on console that was just a playtest thing.
Would you say that Spider-Man did?
I don't think they fully did. I think they used a couple features, but I don't think it was like all the features of the controller used that were at the disposal of them, which is fine. They don't have to use every single one, but it's one of those things where they've talked about these controllers and how they're like the future and they're so technologically advanced, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, cool, but like show me, you know, like I need to be shown. And it really hasn't been done to the best of the ability that I think they could have done for most devs that have used it. But Astrobot always does it the best way. They even added, I don't know if you saw the original Astrobot.
Assbot.
Original Aspot. They just added a bunch of trophies that you can go back and get. So they updated.
I did notice. I read something about that. That's pretty good. That's
I
pretty
might
cool.
have to go back and do some more Astro's Playroom because of it. Because I think there's like a solid there's 14. There's like 3 pages now. One page is the main one where like if you got the original platinum, they're all done. But there's 2 extra pages of trophies. I'm like,
that's fire.
I gotta go get them. But
I mean, that's a fun game to do it in.
Oh yeah, yeah. It was the Sony State of Play.
That was a Sony State of Play. I want to elaborate more on what you said about the control. I think this is something else we've said. Since PS5 Series X, this generation has started, I feel like we're still waiting for this generation to become this generation. You know what I mean? It hasn't really kicked off, and I feel like that's a common criticism about these consoles right now. But as we go along, especially with the Astrobot, I think it's starting to look like, with the things that are getting revealed, like, okay, these are starting to look like games that could only be on this generation of console. Yeah. Finally, it only took a couple of years for us to get games that weren't like cross generation.
Yeah, don't worry, PS6 is right around the corner.
Yeah, but as soon as they start coming, it's like, all right, PlayStation 6.
Yeah.
The Xbox showcase, the big showcase, is rumored to be in September. So I'm sure we'll see what I said. Did I say Xbox?
I think so.
My bad. The PlayStation showcase, the big Sony show, is rumored to be in September. The ones where they do like their big swings, like their haymakers. So I'm looking forward to that. State of plays are usually bite-sized anyway. You kind of know what you're getting. Unless it's a dedicated state of play to a specific game, you kind of know what you're getting. But I'm really looking forward to the showcase to see what else they got. So
hell yeah.
That is Sony. That is state of play.
Next up, we had Summer Game Fest hosted by Jeff Keighley. Going into this show, he very much told us to temper our expectations, knowing that there weren't going to be too many crazy things shown off. I think there was only one thing that really shocked the both of us, and we were both fully in when it happened. We'll get to that in a second, but yeah, there's a long list. You want me to just read down this list, and then we'll stop where we feel like we got to stop and talk?
Sure.
So starting off the show, they went into Lego Horizon Adventures, which caught us off guard, to say the least. A couple people in our chat were saying that this should have been a thing, or was supposed to be a thing that maybe was in Lego Fortnite, maybe. And they were just like, let's make it our own game. But Lego Horizon Adventure puts Aloy in a wonderful co-op world later this year across PC, PS5, and Nintendo Switch, which was the big shock.
Yeah.
But it looked pretty cool for what it is. It looks like they got the original voice actress back for the character. I genuinely thought it was a Fortnite thing. Like, I'm not even trying to like play it up.
Because why wouldn't you?
It just felt like it was gonna be that, especially since Aloy is a skin in Fortnite, I believe, and I think she has a Lego version. Yeah, she's in the game.
Oh shit! I don't remember that.
It's one of those things where they showed it and it just kept showing more and more stuff, like nice little platformer co-op thing with a bunch of different worlds, new Lego versions of the giant monsters that we've seen. I think the only one that they've ever made in real life so far has been Long Neck. So this might be a way for them to also release more Lego sets of Horizon coming soon, just in the real world, which is pretty neat. But yeah, I don't know if I'm super excited for it per se, but it looked cool.
It's definitely cool. Like we said, the Switch thing was a total shock because Sony. There's layers to this. Sony already was, especially the Sony fanboys are like, they were mad when shit went to PC. Like, no, we need to take control. You have solo, blah blah blah. I don't think y'all understand how much money these companies are losing. All these layoffs and everything. They got to make money where they can make money.
Sure.
So I understood the PC. I definitely didn't see the Switch thing coming. Saying it was on Switch, and I've been reading on Twitter a lot, people are like, isn't it funny how it's on Switch but not Xbox? So they're still not trying to play with them, but they're trying to, they put it everywhere around them. Switch is just crazy to me. I understand why this would go on Switch.
Yeah, it feels like the that Minecraft one that was out recently. What was it called? Minecraft Dungeons. Gave me that kind of feel, like the isometric platformer type situation, with co-op, obviously. But I don't know, man. I mean, it'll be fun to play co-op if we could do couch co-op of it when it eventually comes out. And check that out.
That would be a funny stream, though. Actually.
Yeah. But after that, we have a bunch of things that I think we're gonna just zoom right through. 13 years after its zombie-smashing predecessor, the Chivalry devs bring back a Left 4 Dead contender with No More Room in Hell 2. I played the first No More Room in Hell. It was fun.
Dope.
After that, Harry Potter Quidditch Champions. This shit looked like Uber Fortnite Pixar crap.
But they said this was coming when everybody was in outrage that Quidditch wasn't in the Hogwarts game.
It's just weird to me that they didn't choose to stick in the same style, if that makes sense. Like, I thought that they would just do like the same style, but hey, it's whatever. It's out September 3rd for consoles and PC. Cuff Bust is the new game from the Choo Choo Charles developer, and it's about an alien mice breaking out of jail. After that, we got more Star Wars Outlaws trailers, which we'll talk about again in the Xbox section. But it confirms Lando will be one of the characters. The Ubisoft, sorry. In the Ubisoft Forward gameplay reveal that will be shown later. What's next? The indie dev behind the Serene platformer gem Grease from 2018 is back to show off their gameplay from the Serene gem Neva, which we first saw at Game Awards, I believe.
It was either Game Awards or last year's Game Fest. I don't remember which one.
Back then when we first saw it, it was just cinematic and not really much gameplay, but we got a decent amount of gameplay this time. Looked really fun. Looked really cool good. Seeing the story of the evolution of you and the pup that you get to go around with, which is pretty cool. After that, Civilization 7 was confirmed. It's coming to PC and console simultaneously next year. After that, we got more Black Myth Wukong Collector's Edition stuff. So we got a 40 centimeter figure, which is, competing with that 10 inches of Venom. But I kind of just want this game to be out already. I don't think I'm going to be good at this at all when it comes out, but it looks super fun as a Soulsborne.
Collector's Edition is $400.
$400, yeah. It does come with some other stuff besides just the figure, but the figure does look like a hot toy, I guess, if that makes sense. So those are pretty expensive. Those are like $200-$300 figures each.
In that case, I can't understand it.
I think that's where the money's mainly going to, is the figure. But you do get a little map that you can unroll and stuff of the area, and a little trinkets and shit that are on the side, like a little bell, which is pretty cool. But I will be probably just getting the base version of that game if I'm getting it at all. After that, the open world survival game Once Human gets a July 9th release date. Next up, Metaphor ReFantasio boasts over 40 jobs that will transform your characters over the course of a huge RPG. I don't remember this one, if I'm being honest.
That is the new Persona-esque RPG game.
Ah, gotcha.
From what?
People were freaking out about this in the chat, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, this is pretty for the Persona crowd. This is a huge deal. And you could look at it and you could tell it's Persona.
For sure.
From that same
that's
team.
Coming October 11th. So PC, PlayStation, and Xbox consoles. Where was I? MetaQuest 3. A new exclusive Batman Arkham game, Arkham Shadows, gets a new story trailer. I'm getting so sad that they're not just making a new Arkham game and it's got to be VR. But
gotta get that VR money.
I guess. As long as it's not on PSVR exclusively, I think it's fine. Since it's on MetaQuest 3, maybe there's a chance that I play it at some point, because I will never buy PSVR, but I would buy MetaQuest in my mind, you know. Next up, Tears of Metal was announced as a medieval hack and slash co-op roguelike, which was pretty cool if I remember correctly. I have not seen the trailer for this in about a week or so. But I remember we did like this when we were watching the stream. So next up, Dragon Ball Sparking Zero gets the October 11th release date. There was also a bunch of details of the deluxe edition shown off. Pretty cool. I'm excited for it.
Definitely Mad Goku's all up in this bitch.
It was like a pre-order bonus. If you pre-order, you get 6 exclusive characters, which are just 2 characters, but in 3 different forms each. Whatever, it's Dragon Ball, we know.
Yep.
Next up, Delta Force Hawk Ops has a PC global alpha coming in July, and Black Hawk Down missions.
Hey, like that movie.
Yeah. Next up, Fatal Fury City of Wolves is coming in 2025.
Fighting game season is upon us again.
Yes. Battle Crush Early Access is coming in June, so more and more things coming end of year. Mecha Break closed beta coming in August 2024. We saw more of this on a different showcase, and it looks cool as shit.
They showed it in Xbox too.
Yeah. Very much like that. Blumhouse Games had a reveal that they're doing a entire slate of indie horror games that they're coming out and they're publishing themselves.
Dope.
Really cool segment. Go check that out. I think that's one of the highlights, if I'm being honest, of Summer Games Fest.
They're doing good things.
Yeah, there's a bunch of different options, a bunch of different games and different game types, something for everyone in the horror genre. Right after that, we got the second greatest thing shown in the show. I think this is probably my highlight personally.
This is my favorite.
Co-op beat 'em up Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Rita's Rewind.
It looks so good.
Super cool.
If y'all were in the Streets of Rage 4 and Turtle Shredder's Revenge, this is right up that same alley.
It was even cooler seeing them on the roller coaster using the blasters, and it was like a shooter almost at that point. And then when you get into the Megazord, it was first person fighting. Pretty cool. Deer and Boy was coming up as a platformer about a kid who finds a hurt fawn. It looked really cool from the trailer. Reminded me a lot of there was another deer game that came out last year that I can't remember the name of off the top of my head, but it was a deer and something else that was a platformer.
Yeah.
I think it was also black and white as well, which I think this is similarly like that. Or
wait, wasn't that a fox?
Yeah, it was like deer and fox or something like that. I don't know.
I forgot what it was called. I know what you're talking about though.
Yeah. Next up, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 got a brand new trailer showing off far more raunchy medieval RPG than the original game.
Ooh.
So if you're into that, you know where to go.
If that's your thing.
Yeah, and then after that, the game that I'm still uncomfortable saying the name of, Slitterhead, gets a November release date and a gameplay trailer. So
that was some wild shit going on in Slitterhead, man.
Oh, yeah. After that, we got a whole bunch more. I forgot there was this much more as well.
Yeah.
There's a new roguelike shooter coming from one of the lead Matrix animators that is basically GTA, but with beans. So-
what's this shit called?
It's a bean game. I can't remember the title of it. Killer Bean.
Killer Bean.
It's pretty cool looking. I don't really understand where the IP came from because I feel like I've seen it before.
What was this on? Is it just your YouTube? It's on a streaming service, and they made a game out of it, and it's notoriously memed on the internet.
All right.
So to see them actually making games, crazy.
Next up after that bean was Cairn, a climbing game from the creators of Fury and Paving. This looked really cool. It kind of gave me vibes of Quap with the way that the limbs were moving and the climbing was happening.
Right.
I'm very interested in playing that. It looked very, very fun. We also got a new game from the Stanley Parable creator called Wanderstop, which is similar to a Stardew Valley of sorts, but there's definitely some sort of twist that we don't really fully know what's going on that came towards the end of that trailer. I'm really looking forward to that one.
The way they presented that it made it look very interesting.
Oh yeah. It was very funny seeing like the farming sim stuff and joking about it, and then it getting more and more interesting from there. So I liked that.
Yeah.
Next up, A Notary of the Last Song got a trailer, updated demo, and community contest that you can go check out now. The first Descendant gets a July 2nd release date. Another July game, which I think that's like the third or fourth one in the past minute.
They're going crazy.
After that, the Among Us developers came out and launched a publishing arm, Outer Sloth. We also got a teaser for the Among Us TV show with the star-studded cast that they have of voice actors. It is animated, so sure, I guess. I don't really think I'm going to watch that, to be honest.
It's going to be a sleeper hit. Watch.
Great reviews or some shit, but as of this moment, I'm not a huge investor in Among Us. After that, Sonic X Shadow Generations launches October 25th. This looked really cool. There's a pre-order bonus.
Everybody happy about Shadow before the movie comes out.
Yeah. I think it was like if you pre-order, you get the OG version of Sonic where it's like
you get the Dreamcast Sonic. Yeah.
After that, Dune Awakening is going down an alternate history storyline of the books and films Lisanok Aib. So pretty much it's the story of the movies / books, but if something different happened. It's like a what if game, which was very interesting and I did not expect, because I think this wasn't the first what if game that we got, if I'm remembering correctly. I can't remember what the other one was, but there was a second one that was like a what if situation. After that, Battle Aces, a real-time simulator game for everyone that aims to bring the core fun of the genre of...
Oh, this was your favorite.
What is this? Oh, I remember this. I'm sorry. The wording of the fucking thing was weird. But it was really well animated, and I think
it looked like it was going to be amazing.
Yeah, it looked really cool, and then it was just a top-down MMO.
RTS.
So that's fine. I don't hate it, but it was one of those things where I was like, come on, man, like you guys got to stop putting so much money into these animated trailers and then just showing a top-down game. Like it's sad. It's a little sad because you set expectations really high.
Yo, when I saw Kinda Funny give the same reaction we gave, I was like, okay, we're not crazy.
I was all in until the gameplay show. But I do want to give kudos to the dev that was on stage. He did a perfect job of lining up what his like little speech was to the trailer time, and like was in and out like super quick, really well done. Just
super efficient, in and out.
After that, the finals is going to Kyoto on June 13th. A new season is starting for that game. If you want to go check it out, first-person shooter. Alan Wake 2 Night Springs DLC got a release date of June 8th. And it gives you options to play 3 different characters that they were showing off on screen. One of them, I believe, is like a popular actor that I can't remember the name of. But it looks cool. I still haven't played the game personally, so I don't know much about what it is besides that one musical number we got at the Game Awards.
True.
After that, New World Eternum is coming October 15th to PS5 and Xbox Series X. Then after that, Hyper Light Breaker coming in early access later this summer.
That looked cool.
Then we got Party Animals, who announced a couple of extra game modes, including a cart mode, which is pretty cool. We got to definitely get back to that.
Get back to that. If you know, you know.
Oh yeah. After that, EA had a bit with Tim Robinson that was
Oh, yeah,
a little
the
long,
skate.
if I'm being honest. Like, it was a very long bit. But
I didn't see it
for
leading
Skate.
to Skate until it did. I was like, oh, that's
Yeah.
a Skate promo?
But Skate looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. A lot of people sonicking around. If you don't know what that is, go watch our co-stream and you'll find out real quick.
Yep.
After that, Pow World is getting a huge the
patches.
Sakurajima update. New gear, buildings, bosses, and new pals. I don't know what Grillit is, but
I don't know either.
that's a pal that apparently the community was asking for.
Now I'm going to like research that because I don't know what. I didn't even hear about that.
Yeah. After that, Valorant came on stage and said that they're going to be coming to consoles, both PS5 and Xbox Series X. They showed a lot of gameplay, a little bit more than I think was necessary to announce that it was coming to consoles, if I'm being honest, but pretty cool to see that they're getting a
Had to reinvest
controller
you.
version. Yeah. After that, Monster Hunter Wilds confirmed that they have crossplay for all platforms in a series first, and quietly reveals that might be its most important monster, apparently. So apparently there was a really crazy monster in the trailer, so check that out.
All
And
you
then
Monster Hunter people have
Phantom
things.
Blade Zero was the final thing we saw. It looked sick.
Still looks great. Like, let's
I
go.
cannot wait. It's going to be one of those games where we're just constantly like, hey, where's that game at? Can we
Where's
please
that
get the
game at?
now? But it was a cool way to end the show. Like I said, I think Keeley definitely told us to keep our expectations low. I think that was a good thing to say because it wasn't the most amazing show. It was a lot of stuff that's, hey, we've already talked about this and it's coming later. There's a few surprises in there that were pretty cool and nice to see, but other than that, I think it was a lot of just updates, really.
Yeah.
Which isn't bad, but at the same time, from Summer Games Fest past, you always expect something like huge, at least one or two things that are like really huge. But I think the big standout for us was definitely that Power Rangers beat 'em up. So we're looking forward to that.
Definitely. I think that Summer Games Fest, they went out of their way to highlight smaller developers and bigger developers who are supporting smaller developers, like the Outer Sloth thing with Inner Sloth. What was the other one? Where is it? The Blumhouse thing, where they're getting indies to help. They're supporting indies to help them make those horror games, which I think is amazing. So, and then right after Summer Game Fest, they had the another indie showcase, Day of the Devs, which was great. And there were some dope games in there. So,
oh yeah, Day of the Devs had a lot of good games that were added to my wish list. So definitely go watch that stream if you missed out on it.
Indies and smaller studios are doing a lot of the heavy lifting right now between the heavyweights, like in the lulls.
For sure.
And during this unfortunate time of layoffs and company closures and things like that. So that's dope to see. Real quick, we're not going to really go too crazy on it, but Devolver also had theirs. Highlights from that are Tenjutsu, which I thought was super fire. So I saved that. Top down, like street fighting kind of game. Cult of the Lamb DLC, the Crush House, Talos Principle 2 expansion, Angerfoot, which looks hilariously fun, and Possessors, which looks like another Metroidvania-esque game. So I'm hyped about that as well. Devolver delivered. The real star of the Devolver show was the story going on between trailers.
Yeah.
So go check that out when you get a chance.
I love it.
They hit it on the head every time. Now the Xbox showcase, the controversial, I don't want to say controversial. The Xbox is a controversial topic in gaming with all their studio closures and putting games on other consoles. Nobody knows what's going on with their business. We had our whole thing about on the last episode about Xbox ain't got games. People ain't like to hear that shit. But when we said it, I mean,
They technically didn't.
they weren't showing a lot of promise currently.
Yeah.
That's not to say that like I hate Xbox, but that's just what's going on. But shockingly, and I'm sure they'll take that as a diss too, but shockingly, they had one of the best. They might have the best showcase out of all these showcases because they came out swinging. Whether these games are going to be third party or not and go to other consoles, which a good amount of them are, their showcase in general, what they showed of games that either they're publishing or not, the way they showed them, like the flow of the show itself, they were hit. It was great. And I think that's what they needed right now. So without further ado, shocker, Call of Duty Black Ops 6. Coming October 25th, early access. Early access is back for pre-order customers. Also, it will be the first Call of Duty that's day one on Game Pass. So that's something. That's craziness. Yeah. What do you think about what you've seen in Black Ops 6?
I honestly I don't care about this game at all. Call of Duty sucks. It's just a bad game, bro. It's fine. Here's the thing, man. Call of Duty hasn't been good since like the early 2010s.
Really? Because Modern Warfare remakes were good, right? I'm asking because people who if this is your first time listening, Chris is the shooter guy. I'm not the first person shooter guy, so I always deviate to him.
The thing with Call of Duty to me is that it feels like it's just the same thing as the 2K sports games. It's the same thing, just put out every single motherfucking year, and you can tell that because they like remade fucking Modern Warfare as a series. And no offense, the campaign for 2 sucked and the campaign for 3 was fucking awful. So the campaigns are the things that used to sell the game to me. Like that's what I cared about before the multiplayer. Obviously the multiplayer is fun and it's a good time, but I just haven't cared about a Call of Duty besides the fact that I'm just playing in a league casually on the side. When it comes to like the quick play and all that shit, like it's turned into Fortnite too, like with all the fucking blueprints and shit that they have in the store. You can buy Cheech and Chong, a bunch of Gundams, Warhammer, and not saying that's a bad thing, but it's not what I remember Call of Duty being.
Yeah,
Call of Duty was like a story-based game for me when I was playing it when I grew up. I still have my Modern Warfare 3 PlayStation 3 pre-order that I got with my little wristband for my GameStop midnight release. I still have it because I loved that shit. But these games it feels like they're just trying to make the most money without even giving a shit about the consumer at all, especially with how big the file sizes are rumored to be. The fact that they can't make it anywhere lower than, a normal game is in like this day and age is insane to me. It really does feel like they're trying to make it like you can only have Call of Duty on your system and that's it. Like, this is the game. You buy your console, guess what? This is the only game on it. That's what it feels like nowadays. I just don't care anymore about Call of Duty. That's just me. If you're excited for it, sure, that's great. But listen, I still play to this day, and it's worse than it was when I played back when I was a kid. The lobbies and the horrendous things that are said on Quick Play or wherever the fuck you're playing are worse. It's a bad time. The community is terrible. And the game launching on PC is terrible as well. So that's even worse. The fact that I have to fucking relaunch it 8 times before it finally decides to want to work. So
okay, let me ask you this. And then we'll move on. What's the best shooter out right now? Whether you like it or not, like what's like, if you take any bias out, unbiasedly, what's the best shooter out?
I mean,
to you, in your opinion.
No, I don't, because here's the thing. I might be the shooter guy, but I'm not a huge fan of the shooters that I'm playing really at the moment. Like, I don't like Fortnite because I feel like they just keep fucking it up. I don't like Call of Duty because they keep fucking up my PC, and I can't like operate the game normally without loading my shaders for an additional hour before I want to play the game, which is a joke. And like, I don't play Apex anymore just because it just got way too sweaty and it became a different game for me. And I just got out early of it. It was fine, but I don't know if I'm being honest. I do not know.
I don't know is a valid answer.
maybe X Defiant has a chance to take that crown. I don't know if they're going to do it anytime soon, but I don't think most shooters nowadays are amazing, if that makes sense. Like,
I think
even
you're gonna
Overwatch is fine, but like,
you're gonna come back in 2 months and you're gonna say like it's Marvel Rivals. It's the best shooter.
if it's that, I would. Jesus Christ, I cannot even imagine. But yeah, I don't know, man. It's a weird world in shooters. That's just my personal taste, just because I look at the companies behind it. Like, it's $1 billion company that are making these games for Call of Duty. And every time I go into a ranked lobby, there's a 90% chance that one person on my team like gets disconnected, or on the other team gets disconnected, and then the whole entire game is shot from there. But it's like 3 minutes in, like that shouldn't be a thing, man. Your servers are shit, your file sizes are shit, and like, I don't want to play as Cheech and Chong, bro. Like, what the fuck?
We got Fortnite at home.
That, yeah, too. Like, it's lost. Like, Call of Duty has lost its actual core,
like its identity,
what it used to be. Yeah, it's something completely different now, and that's not saying it's a bad thing. It's just bad for me. I'm not a huge fan of the way it's gone and the direction that it's gone into. I kind of liked Modern Warfare 2, the remaster, when that came out, but ever since then, it's kind of just been, I've been playing because my friends play casually, but also that's about it. So,
I got you.
But maybe Doom is the number one.
Speaking of shooters, Doom: The Dark Ages takes the FPS first-person shooter icon off the rails with its giant mech, a blade shield, and a shotgun that shoots bones. This was a hype moment. The modern Doom games are fire. I love the modern Doom games. This comes next year to PC and Xbox, and Xbox Game Pass at launch. So I'm really excited for that. State of Decay 3 was back with a first look at its gorgeous and emotional open world zombie action. Dragon Age: The Veil Guard features returning faces from Dragon Age 2 and Inquisition. A surprising Starfield patch is coming today. Well, at the time of the Xbox showcase, a Starfield patch came out. It looks to be a different RPG in the new trailer for the Shattered Space DLC. I gotta give it to him on presentation. It looked great. I just have no desire to start Starfield up and touch it. I
uninstalled that a while ago.
I don't blame me. Next up, you can play as a ghoul in Fallout 76 early next year and channel your inner Walton Goggins from the Fallout TV show. Expedition 33.
That like a first-person game, though.
Yep.
So why does it matter that you're a ghoul? It's like a. Okay, sorry.
Expedition 33 is a French JRPG with Paper Mario style combat and some of the most beautiful surreal visuals I've ever seen in a game. This came on screen. I was like, this looks dope. This looks like it's something new. I think this is coming to other consoles as well. I think this is on PlayStation as well. Due to hit PS5, PC, and Xbox, but it's also going to be included in Game Pass in 2025. But the action looked great. The RPG, the battles looked great. I just liked seeing something new and different, and this is definitely new and different and looks dope. Turn-based RPG, but also like some action RPG elements to it. It kind of melds it in a way that's like, you would think that would be like Final Fantasy VII Remake, but this looks like something completely different system-wise. And I think the presentation was great. I think graphics, presentation, everything. I just think this looks like a dope new thing.
Hell yeah.
And honestly, for Xbox, I think that's important right now with all the criticisms, including our criticisms that they get, is that they need new exciting things to buy an Xbox for. Even if you even just to buy a Game Pass subscription for, you need some new shit. And that was something that stood out to me. Also this, South of Midnight, upcoming action adventure game from ex-Arcane dev behind We Happy Few, set in the Deep South, finally gets its release window. We saw a teaser for this. Was it last year? I want to say, but
I'm not sure.
I forget when. But another kind of action RPG. More so action than RPG. Got that kind of I don't know what I would compare this to. I want to say God of War-esque. But it looks really fun. Traversal looks fun. It's not a setting that we're used to seeing in games like Deep South, like kind of New Orleans kind of based. So that looks really cool. I'm interested at the very least to see more of it. 2025 PC and Xbox. We'll see more of that. It moves like, what is it called? You're art guy. What's the movement called that's in Spider-Verse? The way the
it's like
character
animated
moves.
on twos.
Yeah. It's like that as well.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. World of Warcraft, The War Within kicks off its MMO World Soul Saga in August. So Warcraft Peace, be on the lookout for that. Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater got a new trailer. No date still, but this is something that's highly, highly anticipated. I never played that one. That's the third Metal Gear. I've only ever played the first two.
I don't think I played any in my life before.
Really?
Yeah, never been a Metal Gear guy.
I own 5. I've never played it, and 5 is like critically acclaimed, and I've never played it. Sea of Thieves Season 13 coming July 13th. Xbox and PC, no mention of PS5 yet. I'm sure it'll get there at some point. Because the game is there. I just think this new expansion isn't there yet.
Okay.
Flintlock Siege of Dawn sets release date for next month. I'm trying to remember what this was.
Another Souls-like.
Yeah. Here it is. Oh, we seen this before.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So it was like, got guns. It looked, again, something new, something crazy. I'll wait to see more of it. But again, I'm not mad at it. Presentation was great. Age of Mythology Retold. It's coming September 4th, 2024. The Perfect Dark reboot finally shows its face. I don't think we've seen anything Perfect Dark since I think our second year, not even our second year, like maybe our first year of doing the show. The first time we co-watched the Game Awards at our old recording place is when they showed Perfect Dark last.
The dark days, the perfect dark days.
The Perfect Dark days. Perfect Dark reboot suddenly resurfaces and now somehow looks like a Deus Ex game with elements of first-person shooters, immersive sims, and stealth action. Real quick, this is all the words of Games Radar, so we're reading off their lists. It looked great. I like the Perfect Dark games. I even like the one everybody hated that came out with Xbox 360, Perfect Dark Zero. I like Perfect Dark, and what I've seen of this, I think sets itself apart from the other first-person shooters in a way that's unique. So I'm looking forward to Perfect Dark. Diablo 4, excuse me. Diablo 4 Vessel of Hatred announces October release date in gnarly new cinematic that will have you reaching for your sick bag. And yes, it was pretty dark and gnarly. Go check that out, all my Diablo peoples. Fable finally showed its face again after I think the same time we saw that Perfect Dark trailer last. So it's good to see that they're making good on all those games that they promised years ago so that, you know, Xbox can have games. Fable, it says Fable joins GTA 6, Monster Hunter Wilds, and more in 2025's already packed game release schedule. So looking forward to Fable. I've never played a Fable, so people used to tell me a lot about it, how it was good, but I've never played a Fable. Frag Punks is a 5v5 5v5 hero shooter with gameplay changing cards, and it's coming to 2025. Wouldn't be a showcase without a hero shooter. Winter Burrow is a survival game starring a tiny mouse that's definitely going to make me cry. Yes, it was a very emotional looking survival game. So check that out.
Oh yeah.
Mixtape is a new Annapurna game that explores memories through music set in the early 90s and of course has a banging soundtrack. That looked pretty cool. Midnight. The fuck am I talking about? I can't read.
Flight Simulator.
I can't read. Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 is coming November 19th, 2024 with a huge range of aviation careers. What else? You can play all the Elder Scrolls 6 DLC for free with the limited time ahead of the Gold Road, which is expansion, coming June 18th. Life is Strange Double Exposure is bringing the series' first protagonist, Max Caulfield, back for a new adventure in October. So look forward to that.
Cool.
It did. Our good NGP Anna was very excited to see that. Indiana Jones shows up again, and The Great Circle got a very Uncharted-like new trailer, but still no actual release date. I don't know how I feel about that game. I need to see more gameplay. I keep trying to be sold on it, but every time I see it, I'm just like...
The cinematics are good.
They're very good.
The clips of gameplay that we get aren't enough to sell me on the full game yet.
Yeah, same. Avowed's new story trailer sets up a grand RPG adventure with factions vying for control over a beautiful, magical world. I don't think we got a date for that. Did we get a date for Avowed? Nope, no date yet. So Avowed people will be on the lookout for that. Atomfall is Rebellion's new absolutely mad looking game coming in 2025. I'm trying to remember what Atomfall was. Assassin's Creed Shadows, Neo recalls the series' stealthier RPG less roots with a hidden blade, hood, and an awesome grappler. We're gonna get more into that during Ubisoft's breakdown, because I can't lie, like I couldn't tell last time I played an Assassin's Creed. Mm-hmm. This one looks really, really good. They showed like a 15 minutes of gameplay during the Ubisoft forward, and I'm looking at it like I have never wanted to really, really play an Assassin's Creed game, but
this
is making me want. This one looks dope. New Stalker 2 trailer shows the monsters and the mayhem of its open world and the weapons you'll have to defend yourself. What else? Xbox reveals 3 new consoles out later this year, says it's hard at work on the next generation. I think, well, those 3 consoles are the Xbox Series X all digital in robot white, the Xbox Series S all digital in robot white, and the Xbox Series X Galaxy Black Special Edition. What is special about it? I didn't read up on this.
It's called special.
It just says it's special. Yeah, so Xbox going Xbox. That's all that said to me. Gears of War E-Day is a prequel set 14 years before the original action game, and yes, Dom is back. I was very hyped for this. I'm an OG Gears fan since the first one on 360. Seeing that they're making a prequel with the original characters being back, cannot wait.
Yeah.
So looking forward to that. Obviously Xbox showed this in a way better way than I explained it all, but go back and watch the Xbox showcase. They did an amazing job. They have actually games. Xbox got games. Those games just got to come out and be good.
Hopefully.
Right. All right. It's a lot to catch up on, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. Last section, the Ubisoft Forward. Bunch of stuff shown here. Taking it from the top down. We'll close out the show after this. New Star Wars Outlaws looks, teases just how open the open world game is, and Nyx remains the star.
I feel like people are giving this game some shit, and every time I see it, I'm just like, this looks like a good game.
Yeah, I mean, it looks pretty good to me. I just personally, I'm not a fan of the game style of, like, it reminds me of Uncharted with like the shooting aspect of it, like the duck and dive and get behind cover thing. That's just not my personal kind of shooter game that I like to play. But I will still be playing this because it's Star Wars, obviously. But the fan favorite character Nyx is more than just an adorable companion. Its director sees him as a protagonist, as K, as one character. So it sees the little dude with the little things at his head as its own character, its own main character of the game.
Cool.
What else did they say here? In Star Wars Outlaws, I escaped an Imperial space station, swiped a relic, and fell in love with Kay and Nyx's teamwork, coming from a preview from whoever this game's radar still that we're looking at.
Well,
so
go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, it just looks like they're having a great time with it, and they're loving the characters. So
yeah, like I said, we're getting this information from Games Radar, so that was just their impressions on the game.
Next up, X Defiant, which I was playing about earlier. Season 1 is coming July 2nd with more details on the GSK faction, new maps, weapons, and more on July 1st. So check that out when that comes out in about a month or so. It's pretty fun. It's free to play. It's free. Go download it and try it.
Price is right.
Yeah. After that, Prince of Persia Lost Crown gotten even tougher in a free update that came out immediately the same day, correct?
Yes.
Yeah,
Came out
so with
during
story DLC and a Metroidvania in September. So, yeah. Awesome.
Story DLC coming to the
can't read.
Metroidvania in September. I don't want them to think a whole new Metroidvania.
A whole new game.
Right.
I can't read. That's the whole problem here. With the story DLC coming to the Metroidvania.
The other Prince of Persia game. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a new other Prince of Persia game. Dead Cells developers Prince of Persia roguelike is getting a brand new biome with enemies, weapons, and more in its first free update, the Temple of Fire. So I know that CLD will be loving that because he's been loving on that game.
Yeah, this this Prince of Persia game, what was the one that came out early this year? I always forget the name of it.
I don't know because I don't play those. I'm sorry.
No. Hold on.
Lost
Crown.
No.
Lost Crown.
Lost Crown. Oh yeah, Burger King Crown.
Yeah, that's what's getting the DLC, and that whole temple. I can't wait for that to drop because that Prince of Persia game is up there for like one of the games of the year for me.
All right.
I loved it.
I'll have to play one eventually. I'm not good at Metroidvanias, but we'll see if I can do it. After that, Ubisoft dropped Magical Hourglass, announces 2026 release for Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time remake.
Yeah. Throwback. So they're getting into the remake game too. It's now entering full production.
After rebooting development last year. Yep. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to catch up on the reading, but
This one
slow.
is written kind of weird.
Yeah, Games Radar are very iffy with their headlines, and whenever we read them, I'm like, who wrote this? Was it ChatGPT? Because it feels like it.
Right.
Next after that, Avatar Frontiers of Pandora Story Pack 1, The Skybreaker, which is a fucking mouthful, is coming July 16th. And yes, humans are being a nightmare again, according to Games Radar, which I mean, that's kind of the whole point of the Avatar franchise. I kind of want to play that game. I never really gave it a shot, but it reminded me, ironically, of like Cyberpunk in the sense of like the first person of it and the whole story mode. So I kind of want to get into it, but also I didn't hear amazing things. So we'll see how that goes.
That strikes me as a game that if it's not discounted now, it will be heavily discounted in months to come because,
for sure,
like you said, a lot wasn't said about it. So I think they're going to want to try to do whatever they got to do to get at least this stuff coming out in front of people.
For sure. Next up, Year 2 details were outlined for the Crew Motorfest and the Chase Squad, which is coming in November, which is pretty cool. I know there are a few people that play the Crew. I still want to try that game out. I haven't had a chance to yet. What is this? Anno 117 Pax Romana.
Yo, no bullshit. I saw this game being during the Ubisoft Forward and was like, wow, y'all could have came up with a better way to title this game.
Yeah, that's a lot of words, but it will, quote, deliver a Roman gaming experience unlike anything you've ever played on PC, PS5, and Xbox Series X/S in 2025.
Love a good Roman gaming experience.
Yeah, keep an eye out for that Roman gaming experience, the longest name of a game for no reason. After that, Assassin's Creed Shadows dynamic weather system has a massive impact on your gameplay, apparently.
This was the closer for the show.
Oh, really?
Assassin's Creed Shadows.
All right. And then the gameplay showed how the RPG's protagonists differ when it comes to assassinations. And honestly, I agree with the Games Radar person that says, I can't wait to slay as Stealth Queen Naue, or I don't know how to say the name.
I just say Neo.
Neo? Like, it's like Neo, but
Neo,
worse.
yeah.
But I liked the look of the gameplay from that. I like the heavy style of the samurai, and then the very, very like quick and fast of the Stealth Queen, as it's being referred to in this Games Radar article. But yeah, Ubisoft very much did a great job too. I'm looking forward to Star Wars Outlaw. I think the most out of all of these things personally, just because that's who I am. I'm the Star Wars guy. Hey, that's what I do. But
I am him. I am Star Wars man.
I am him, Star Wars man. I bought Oreos the other day that have Star Wars things on it. But yeah. So
oh wait, I did
cool.
see you post that.
Yeah, it's C3P Oreo or whatever. It's funny. But yeah,
fucking
Ubisoft
wordplay.
was great. And then what was this last thing that we had here?
Real quick, I'm gonna put the gameplay that I was watching in our chat so you can. It's fire. It really made me. The Assassin's Creed Shadows gameplay.
Oh yeah. I think I watched the gameplay from Assassin's Creed.
Oh, okay.
That was like one of the few things that I did get to catch. I honestly, if I'm being frank, I didn't get to watch anything from the Xbox panel, so that was a time. But other than that, Ubisoft I got caught up on. So
gotcha.
because that one was like these like things I'm actually gonna play. No offense to Xbox, but here we are. But yeah, that is
man.
that. And
that
then we had one more slide here. What was this that was mentioned?
Oh, there was a rumor. There was a rumor, which I don't really think is a rumor, but Microsoft is reportedly in early stages of working on a remaster of Halo Combat Evolved and is considered launching it on PS5. I don't even think that's a consideration. I think we will see Halo on PS5 as they're trying to usher in new properties and let properties that they don't mind go to other consoles, especially they're trying to, because was Phil Spencer's whole thing. I want as many players to be able to play the games wherever they want to play them, however they want to play them, which is just like, pay us, please, for these games.
Please give us your money for stuff we've already released before.
Yeah, I mean, while that's crazy, like that was like their flagship, I just think gaming is moving in a different space. I
also feel like Halo is kind of like, no offense to Halo as a franchise, but I don't hear about it as much anymore, besides like the television show, which people hate. So like, I mean, you gotta
the peak days of Halo are definitely over.
Yeah, like there's no problem in giving that over to PlayStation and Sony, or in like giving a new audience the option to play it, especially with Call of Duty now moving to Xbox and being like a day one Game Pass thing. It's like, fuck it, man. Like, move shit around.
Right.
So, yeah.
So that's that. So, I mean,
last story, the one we've all been waiting for.
Drum roll.
Netflix. Apparently, Netflix and Mojang Studios are in the works of a Minecraft animated series, which is super funny because they're making the movie right now. That's live action.
Yep.
So they're going to do that, and then this is going to come out right after that, I guess.
You know what they're going to do. They're going to do the movie, and it's going... whichever one comes first is going to lead into the other one. It's either going to lead into it, or it's the lore will lead into it, so they can have the synergy.
Yeah, I just want to see Jack Black in Minecraft, like in animated. That'd be great.
Jack Black needs to be in every video game movie. Yeah, he's in it.
That's true. But yeah, I think that's our show. That's
the news, and that is the
millions
show.
of news things that we had to catch up on, all of our games that we've been playing to catch up on, the podcast itself that just needed to be caught up on because your boys have been having a time, or at least one of us has.
It's always one of us.
Yeah.
One of us is always dying.
Yeah, it feels like it. But yeah, as always, you can follow us on all of our social medias. Save letter B number 4 quitting over on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Twitch, and YouTube.
That's titty, ladies and gentlemen.
Pick up your Titty Gang merch at savebeforequitting fully spelled out.com. We got some other options there. You can get Titty Gang, you can get the main logo, you can get us as Sonic characters. I should probably make more different options as well at some point. I say this almost every other 2 podcasts, but here we are.
Listen, we're still building an audience. It's
True.
new to, if you're your first time here, it's new to you.
New merch to you.
Go get that shit.
Also, check out our Patreon, patreon.com/save_beforequitting, where we do 2 extra podcasts a month when we're not dying and when life isn't kicking us in the nuts constantly.
Right.
What else do we got? We got our email, savebeforequitting, fully spelled out, @gmail.com, where you can send us your offers if you want to sponsor the show. We can take sponsors there. You want to send us questions, comments, concerns, hate mail, because we got at least a few of those people who want to send us some shit. So do that there. And I think that's it. Is that the only thing that we shill? Yeah.
I think that's it, man. Everything that we just shilled is right below. Below this.
Yeah, just read. Go. I don't know how to do it, but you can read down there.
And if you're listening to this in audio form, it's in the description.
Exactly.
Everything is there for you.
Before you forget how to read or something, well, that's a terrible outro. Make sure you remember to
save before quitting.
We'll see you guys next month.
Peace out.
Less Durex and less Jeff Keighley.
Yeah, right. The whole episode was a mouthful.
He had some cool shoes, though. That's all that really matters.
That's all that always matters.